What is up, boys and girls? I'm AppleByte, and we're going over Smite's patch 5.3 today, which is called Heroes of the Trojan War. It introduces Achilles, the new god. He is a warrior, really cool looking, really dig it. And let's get right into his abilities. His passive. Basically, he can either have his armor on or off, and there's visual cues for this, so his appearance, his actual god appearance, actually changes depending on what you choose. If you have your armor on, it gives you more health and protections, while if you have your armor off, it gives you more movement speed and physical power. And as you can see right here, it scales up with you. So you can see here, movement speed 3% plus 0.25% per level. So basically you get at max, you get 8% movement speed, and yeah, all that good stuff. So pretty cool. They did say he's going to be kind of like a hybrid. You could jungle with him or you could solo lane with him. So I think that's going to be really interesting. Anyways, his first ability is Shield of Achilles. It's a cone, the short end of the cone, so the half closest to you. If you hit an enemy in that section of your cone, you actually get a stun off. If you don't, then you just do damage. And yeah, so his next ability is Radiant Glory. What this does is basically kind of like Nike's aura. You use it when you hit a god with an ability, or when you damage a god with an ability, you actually heal yourself. And it also gives you bonus physical power protections and crowd control reductions for 6 seconds. Really good. And yeah, you get lots of benefits with that. Next one, this one's really interesting. It's called Combat Dodge. Basically, think of a short, soft sprint. It's an 8 directional dodge to the sides. Once you dodge, you get a line ability to hit. If you hit an enemy god with it, you reset your 3 abilities, so you can dodge again and use your line ability again, which is really damn cool. So as you can see here, if Achilles successfully hits an enemy god with the strike, which is the line ability, Achilles can use his ability once more before it goes on cooldown. So that's really, really cool. And then his ult, Fatal Strike, is the execution. So obviously right here, execution threshold 30%. Basically, you could if you successfully execute an enemy god with your ult, it resets and you could actually get a penta. So it's kind of like Scylla. As long as you keep killing someone, right, your Fatal Strike comes back up, and has a wind up to it, and it's a straight dash ability. The thing is, it sounds a little OP, right? It sounds a little OP, but every time you successfully execute someone, damage taken is increased by 10%, meaning you're more squishy. You're able to get bursted down a lot easier. So you might execute someone and execute another person, but maybe you want to get out of there because you don't want to take 20% extra damage, you know? So it's gonna be very interesting to see how this comes into play when it does release. And obviously he gets a recolor with his release. Anyways, now we go into god skins. We have the new Ratatasker skin. It's part of the 4 that are going to come out. It's basically the old one. It's just dark and it's a little bit more edgy. Pretty cute still. Really like it. Next we have Abyssal Warrior Wukong. Now this skin looks freaking dope. He's basically like a fully armored Wukong, kind of Eldritch, or kind of like Dark Knight. Dark Knight? Dragon Knight? Something like that. One of the combination of the two. Dark Dragon Knight armor. And it's pretty damn cool. Purple aesthetic with the gold. Looks really dope. I believe that's going to be for direct purchase. Next we have Countess chang'e. Chang'e as a vampire, which looks really damn sick. Like, this card art is really, really good. I know the bunny gets a funny voice line. So the bunny actually talks, and it talks like in a very, very deep voice, which is pretty damn hilarious. So yeah, that one looks really cool. Really like that skin as well. Next, we have probably the best skin, arguably the best skin, which is Pot of Gold Fafnir. Now, he's a leprechaun, right? So leprechaun, he's green, he's a short person, and when he turns into a dragon, it's this like really, really kind of cute, like cartoony dragon. So the effects on it are really cool. It's a very, very like cutesy dragon, so I really, really like it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get it just because I don't like playing Fafnir as a guardian, or I'm just not good at Fafnir. Everyone likes Fafnir. But yeah, this is a really cool skin, and the only skin that can match it is Playful Bunny Nuwa. Holy crap, it's a Playboy Bunny Nuwa. Was there more to say? Her soldiers are like these little gummy things, which are really cool. And when you use your woohoo VGS, I believe it's the little gummy guys, and it's like a really high-pitched annoying woohoo. Really cool. Really, really like this. I hope that they don't fuck this up and put it in a chest. Probably will, but I hope they don't. We're gonna skip over miscellaneous. We're gonna skip over bug fixes. Console, who cares? Just kidding. My console users. You guys are getting all the VGS commands. There you go. And yeah, whatever. So we have Soul Gem. It's gonna get a new passive. So every time you hit your ability, you gain 1 stack. It stacks up to 4 times. And then when you hit someone, you get, or when you have 4 stacks and you hit a god, the next ability you use to hit a god gives you 40% of your, gets bonus damage equal to 40% of your magical power, and it heals yourself and allies within 20 units of you for 40% of your magical power. So it basically does extra damage and it heals. Pretty damn cool. Really like it. Doomorb updated self buff effects for when Doomorb passive buff is active. So there you go. Talon's Fangs. So Soul Gem getting a buff in my opinion. Talon's Fang is getting a nerf, so it's increasing the magical lifesteal from 15% to 10%. It's also decreasing the passive healing bonus from 50% to 40%. Warlock Staff. No, it's not stash anymore. Getting a nerf as well. So they're decreasing power from 75 to 65, and you're getting 0.5 instead of 0.6 per stacks, which means now when fully stacked, you're getting 115 magical power instead of the 135. Book of the Dead, getting a nerf. Decreasing the shield that you get from your total mana from 25% to 15%. So smaller shield, you're still going to get that survivability, but it's easier to burst you down basically. Malice. Now Malice is being kind of redone basically. So it's decreasing the physical power from 50 to 40, so that's a nerf. However, crit chance is going from 20% to 25%, and the new passive is every time you hit a god with a critical hit, it gives you 1 stack. It stacks up to 3 times. The next ability you use to damage an enemy god, it'll consume the stacks. You'll get bonus damage over time. For the first god you hit for 120% of your physical power, and the damage is dealt in 3 ticks over 2 seconds. So basically, you get a crit, you get a stack, you stack up to 3 times, and then the next enemy you hit with an ability gives you bonus damage to 120% of your physical power, and it's ticked. So it's more for like ability-based crit getters like Sorket. Sorket's a really good one. This will definitely benefit Sorket. And yeah, so they're kind of repurposing everything. So Malice is now for ability-based crit users. Rage is going to be for people that want to have more crit chance. So as you can see here, they're increasing the price by 100 gold. They're decreasing the physical power from 30 to 20, but they're increasing the critical strike chance from 1% to 2%. So basically, when fully evolved, you're getting 40% crit chance instead of 35. So that's a buff. Even though it costs 100 gold more, it shouldn't make that much of a difference. Soul Eater, they're buffing it. So it used to be 100 stacks to fully evolve it. Now it's 75, which makes it easier to stack. Now the bonus damage you get from it being fully evolved is going from 10 to 20, so you get an extra 10 physical power. And yeah, that's it. So when fully stacked, you get 60 instead of 50. Warrior Blessing, they're increasing the bonus protections you get once it's evolved from 10 magical and 10 physical to 15 magical, 10 and 10 to 15 and 15 magical and physical. And then they're decreasing the stacks you get from killing a god from 5 to 3. So if you kill a god, you won't get 5 stacks into your warrior's blessing, you'll get 3 instead. Hunter's blessing adjusts how the item provides basic attack damage. Sure. Now god balances. Arachne getting a buff. Her web now has a smaller cooldown. It's going from 18 seconds to 16. And you can also have 3 webs out at a time instead of 2. So that's a buff. Cerberus is getting a buff. Ghastly Breath is now going to do more damage. It's going from 15 to 55 to 20 to 60. So that's only a 5 damage increase, but you know, it's going to be there. It's going to help him. Soul Explosion is going to have a longer range, so your short jump is going to be slightly longer, so it's 40 units to 50 units now, I believe. And then his ult, which decreased the post fire. So again, the post fire from 1.4 to 0.1. While this is happening, Cerberus is crippled, so you can't walk. And he's crippled for 1.2 seconds. He is knock up and knock back immune for that 1.2 seconds. And this ability now auto activates all 3 hits. There you go. Freya getting a nerf. Her passive, which is her passive, the blessing, whatever, be blessing. There you go. Basically, instead of getting the straight up 15% magical life steal right off the bat, now you're gonna get 5% plus 0.5% per level, which at level 20 you'll have your 15%, but you'll get that over time instead of just getting the 15% right off the bat. Also, Irradiate, they're decreasing the damage from it, so it's going from 40 to 100 to 35 to 95, which is only, again, a 5 damage decrease, but the power scaling is going from 25 to 20% as well, so that's a decrease. Overall, nerf. Khepri getting a buff. Adduct, which is his short dash, is getting a slightly lower cooldown. 15 seconds to 14 seconds, so 1 second. I mean, they could have just, you know, put it down to 13. I think that would have been better, but whatever. Solar Flare, again, that's his root. Decreased from 18 to 16, so he's going to have his abilities more, they're going to be available more, basically. So that's a buff. Scylla, increasing her passive, which is every time you have an ability maxed out at rank 5, she gets 20% power. Now she's going to get 25. So there you go. Basically, when you have all your abilities maxed out late game, right? Instead of getting 80 magical power, now you're getting 100. So you're getting that extra 20, which is very fantastic. Sikkim is now scaling with your magical power from 75% to 80%. That's a 5% increase. Serket, Deathbane, increasing the cooldown from 10 seconds to 13 seconds, and also decreasing the physical protections reduction from 15% to 10%. So that's a nerf, straight up nerf. And Uller, decreasing the damage or the power scaling on his bladed arrow, which is 80% to 70, and hail of arrows from 120% to 110. So nerf. And lastly, we have Vamana. Vamana is getting a buff. His Colossal Fury, which is, I was gonna say Flurry, which is his ult, is basically you're gonna have more protections during it because there's so much anti-heal, or there's so many anti-heal items now that the healing off of it's not as good as it used to be. So they're increasing the protection you have while in that ult form. So it's going from 5 to 25 to 15 to 35. So that's an extra 10 protections. Going all the way up. Yeah. Anyways, that is it. That's it. That's everything for patch 5.3. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you want to recommend it to someone, hit that like button. It helps out a great deal. Comment down below letting me know your thoughts on the patch. What would you have changed? Did you like all the changes? All that good stuff. What's your favorite skin? And like always, boys and girls, thank you so very much for watching. Hope you're having a fantastic day. I'll see you on the next one. Later, guys.